as firefighters begin to get the wildfires across Southern California under control, focus is now shifting to recovery. This morning, we're speaking with Congressman Vince Fong about the recovery efforts we've seen so far. Now, I saw you on Friday. You were in this big roundtable with President Trump and Mayor Karen Bass of LA. First of all, we've seen so far that devastation for the folks in the Palisades. What are some of the resources that are now headed their way after this roundtable?
Well, yeah, I mean, this shows, President Trump's commitment to California. I mean, just 5 or 6 days after he was sworn in, I mean, he was traveling to California looking at the devastation of these fires, and he pledged his support and his commitment not only to help extinguish these fires, but to help them rebuild. I mean, certainly you've got to remove the debris, you've got to remove these soils, you've got to help these homeowners or residences, get back on their feet. And that was the most emotional part of the roundtable, is President Trump talking with families who lost everything and asking them, what can we do to fast track and streamline the process to get them back into their homes? And I think that was part of the executive order he signed. Not only did it maximize flows and deal with our water situation and our water crisis, but it also fast-tracked every federal process to clear up the debris and help these homeowners start building or rebuilding again. And hopefully the state and the local governments will match our sense of urgency.
Well, yeah, he was talking about, they were saying, the government down in LA was saying about 18 months is what it would take for them people to start rebuilding, but he wants it like right away. And to give those emergency powers, he referenced two things. He said he would like to see water come flowing from Northern California into LA, and that would inadvertently help us out agriculturally wise. But then he also talked about, in order to get this, he'd like to do something with kind of get voter ID done as well for California. Is that what is the process, to make like a deal to get water and that emergency aid money to help these residents?
Well, I think the recovery package is still being put together. Certainly, I think right now the president committed to ensuring the resources get to California and get to Los Angeles. So I think that right now the focus is to get the firefighters the resources they need to extinguish this fire. I don't know what's going to be in the final package. I think right now, as we put it together, we're going to have to evaluate everything. But at this point in time, my commitment is to ensure that Los Angeles and California gets what they need to put these fires out.
How do you think this will help out Kern County? I mean, we fought so long to see water get flowing into help even our farmers out. What's that for us?
Well, I think that's what the president and I talked about in this roundtable. Is I thanked him for his leadership in terms of laying out a sensible plan to maximize water flows, to streamline the process to build water storage, and to coordinate the state and federal water systems that move water not only to the Central Valley but to Southern California. I think a lot of people don't realize that 30% of Southern California's water supplies for everyday use, for homes, businesses, whatever the city and the county are doing for firefighting, comes from the Delta in Northern California. So, the president is committed and is engaged in a hands-on way on the operations of our state water system and to move water from Northern California to Southern California. And not only has he signed 2 executive orders, he signed one on his first day in office, which shows his commitment in highlighting nationally our water policies that need to change. But he signed a second executive order on Friday that would actually direct his entire administration to evaluate the operations of the state water system and the federal water system, and to make sure that they're coordinated and to maximize flows to the Central Valley and to Southern California.
Wow. I know that he wants to potentially end FEMA, but relocate the money instead of using FEMA, but just give money to the states and let them work that out. That would be something that deals with Congress. That's you to actually have to rectify that. Do you know if anybody in Congress has started talking about reallocating money from the states instead of FEMA, like a bill that Congress is working on?
Well, there's a lot of conversations right now in terms of how we completely overhaul FEMA. I mean, the president not only traveled to Los Angeles, but he started the day going to North Carolina and seeing just how FEMA has failed in the recovery of North Carolina and Georgia and the states that have been affected by those two hurricanes, that came through last year. I mean, look, FEMA is right now a failed agency. I will tell you this, that I'm working with FEMA and trying to get them to reimburse for major infrastructure projects in Tulare County from the floods 2 years ago. And we're dealing, and counties right now throughout the state of California are dealing with reimbursement issues from fires that happened 4 to 5 years ago. So, FEMA is not working to the extent that they're actually helping communities. The counties and cities right now are floating tens, hundreds of millions of dollars on recovering from natural disasters that happened years prior. This is completely unacceptable, and this is what this is the president's frustration, and this is my frustration too. I mean, this isn't just an academic exercise. Los Angeles is going to go through these challenges. The 18 months that you referred to earlier is completely unacceptable when you have families that want to go in and start rebuilding. And so we have to figure out how to get reimbursements faster. If the state can do it, I mean, if we have more companies and individuals that can facilitate the recovery faster, then let's bring them up to the table and get FEMA working again.
Well, Vince Fong, I appreciate your time. That's great information for us. You're on the ground running with this thing now. And by the way, I want people to follow you. I believe it's on X and Instagram. Congressman is the
you follow me you can follow me at Congressman on Instagram and then at V Fong on X.
It's the best name in social media. I cannot say it enough. Congressman. All right, Vince Fong, thank you so much for coming on and taking your time this morning from DC.
Thanks, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Murcia with Eyewitness News Bakersfield Now on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel where we have tons of great content to choose from. While you're here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button right there. That way you can stay up to date on all the things related within Kern County. Thanks for watching.